Workshop with Buckskin Cow. Actually, I'm running back into the house. That was not a pre-recorded welcome message. I'm having to set my stuff up here real quick, so bear with me a moment. Refresh. There we go. One more thing. There we go. We got that. We should be good. Besides that, there's a dog cry, and the bathroom and the fan is on. Oh my gosh! Please do go outside and don't bother. Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hopefully I'm coming in here, because I am coming in here. Get me all riled up. Get all riled up here. Whew. Coming in hot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Sorry about that. Just got in. Let me get in front of the camera so you know I'm here. I'm here. Whew. Man. I'm happy to be here. Let me get myself up on this feed so I can see what's going on. Lordy, lordy. Got a new microphone. Let's see how this works today. Hey, Dacian. A little bit fuzzy on my end there. Let me check. Everything's as it should be there. Emre, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin, also known as Buckskin Cow. If you're here for that, you were here for the inception of that. I congratulate you. I'm on a little wheelie spin here on my other. There we go. Let's get live. There we go. Yep, scraping buckskins, meeting people. I'm about to. I got a new razor saw in the mail, so that I can cut some forms out. Jason said he is working on his forge. That's what I'm talking about, man. You're gonna have a coal forge, or are you gonna have a propane forge? By the way, my name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. So I got a new razor saw. It's a big deal for me. We're gonna see how it works. Maybe today, maybe it'll be next time. Y'all know I don't go on Sunday, so we'll see how that goes. Propane, nice. Oh, you're gonna start a channel up. That's gonna go well. That's gonna go really well. What a good idea, man. I'm excited for you. I honestly want to get me one, but I just can't spread myself too thin. Emre out there in Turkey, he wants to get himself a forge. What's up, Cedar? I gotta get the heat gun out, and I got this bucket full of scraps that's kind of on. Got a lot to learn before I can stream or anything. Yeah, well, you definitely don't want to be unsafe, because streaming is something that you have to pay attention to what you're doing, kind of. And so, with a forge over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, you want to kind of be comfortable with that thing first. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that. But don't wait too long, right, to stream. You can stream the process of learning some things, you know. In my opinion, I don't want to give you advice that's going to harm you either. I want you to be safe. Safety first, you know. I just popped this hide up yesterday and was looking at it, and there's some spots I just want to scrape at. I'm doing great. Oak Ridge Taxidermy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you been, man? What do you say? What do you do? So, Cedar met somebody last night. You guys, you connected with Dylan, who also lives in Michigan, right? Did we determine? Oh, no. So you're Wisconsin. You don't live in Michigan. You're from Milwaukee. What am I thinking? Were you on Mike's thing last night? I went to bed early. Y'all. Early. I get tired. Y'all got all that excess energy. Yeah, as soon as you start your channel, Emre, we can just boost you up and just raid your channel with everybody. We'll do raids over there. Like everybody go. Oh, the mail person's here. I wonder if I'm gonna get my my scissors. Everybody go to Emre, right? We got to do that, just like we got to do that. If anybody else here streamed at nearly the same time or would give me a heads up, we could do that here too. But like Paul, for example, he's scared to even say when he goes live now, and he should be. You know, he should be a little scared. It's like, nah, don't be scared, man. Had a hectic night. What happened, man? What happened last night? Oak Ridge says he's going live at 7. Oak Ridge Taxidermy live at 7. Let me put that in my notes. I need a pencil in here, man. Where's all my writing utensils? Pilato takes my stuff and he misplaces it, like a little shop gremlin. You know, I'm gonna have Heather remember that for me because I don't have anything to take. Oh, I can put a note in here. You're serious, right? Live at 7, right? Oak Ridge. I put it in my notes. Oh, good. Not ignoring you, Mike. Didn't see anything from you. What's up, Mike? Not ignoring you, buddy. I don't have Heather in here, and my chat on my phone does not scroll evenly, as you may have learned in the past. I am not ignoring you, Mike. I did message you on reply to your message on Facebook as well. Stuff I want to learn on that video. Not ignoring you. Stop, y'all. Don't take stuff personally. I'm trying to run a live stream and get everybody, include everybody. Stop. Does my mic sound good? How does my mic sound? How does my mic sound while I scrape this buckskin? I'm gonna scrape this buckskin carefully. Everything like that. So as y'all can see, it takes a lot of work to get the buckskin soft. Some may call it elbow grease. Some may call it sheer determination. I mean, Mike, your jokes are definitely getting old. But that's not why I wasn't ignoring you because of that. Buckskin cow, y'all. live with a very, very, very low blood pressure. Nothing gets to me here. Brush everything right off my back. Cool as a cucumber. Here at Dad's Workshop. Welcome. Subscribe, please. Double tap that screen. Double tap that screen. Should I talk towards the mic or should I just talk like this? A melanistic rooster, sweet man. See, you know, this guy's a genius. Says he usually mounts deer, but today he's working on a melanistic rooster. Let me guess that that's a rooster that's darker rooster. Yeah, I'm gonna check those videos out, Mike, because I all of those little pieces of wisdom are all good. You know, we like all that stuff. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Not a typical time I usually go live, so I'm not worried about those numbers. Just want to say hi to everybody, and also say hi to some new people. If you're new, pop in here and you know, drop something in the chat and say hello. We love new folks here at Dad's Workshop. Got a new microphone today. Maybe y'all like my other microphone better. I'm starting to think that other mic, you know. I'm gonna get superstitious about everything. But we're happy we're not disconnected, you know. Numbers can be numbers, but just don't disconnect me. You know what I mean? Numbers gonna be what numbers gonna be. You know? Little bits of grain. Steel coming off. Steel. Baby Kisses is lurking. She's lurking in the background. I saw Wes's short where he's Mr. W. Suppose it's a Mr. T. Play on Mr. T. And it's good. It's a good short. It was funny. Baby Kisses in the comments. Oh, oh my word. That's what she said. It was a really good short. So Wes, if you're lurking in the chat somewhere, hello. Hello to whomever that is. Hi. Welcome. Wish I could translate that. Somebody's in the chat that can translate for me. Man, that looks like Hebrew or like an Ethiopian type word there. Maybe Hebrew. Mike said, I'd love to hit 100 subs for my birthday, the 13th of March. Hey, check this out, y'all. This guy right here, Mike Osborne, has a channel. You can leave my live stream if you want. Go sub to Mike Osborne's channel. Let's get him up to 100 subs, but also sub here first. Sub here, share this, and then go sub to Mike Osborne's channel, and let's get him up to 100 subs. But now that you're at 50 plus, Mike, you can stream. So what you got to do is live stream to get those subs, man. Live stream every day till your birthday, and you'll get those subs. But we're gonna try to work on it right now. We'll work on it some right now. So if you're here, Mike Osborne has a shop. He's up there in North Dakota. He's getting himself back on his feet again. Had been in bad health, but now he's coming around. He's turning a corner. He's going to open his shop up, and he wants to get his YouTube channel up to 100 subs. So check out Mike Osborne's channel and sub to his channel. If anyone who's a mod in my channel can post Mike's link. I know Heather's out kind of at the grocery store right now, so I don't know if she's able to do it. But we'll get it. Stick around. We'll get it on there. And then also Oak Ridge Taxidermy is going live at 7. Want to plug that. Oak Ridge Taxidermy live at 7. he's going to be working on a melanistic rooster, if I'm speaking correctly. He usually mounts deer on his live stream, but he's going to be working on mounting a melanistic rooster. So that's awesome. I'm psyched to check that out. Birds, I mean, all mounting of everything is kind of mysterious. It's a lost craft. So mounting, as somebody said, asked me yesterday about mounting. Because I had taken this cape from the deer to try to, with the idea of going through the motions, you know. Hey, by the way, double tap that screen and like this video. My name is Calvin. I've been hanging out here at YouTube for a little bit, you know, for a minute, doing different stuff on my channel. Right now, we've been working on deer hides and traditional tanning with traditional materials and things you don't have to pay for, right? Finding ways to make really good quality products without paying for things. Yeah, maybe that I have to do it from a PC, which I got my computer open in the building, but I'm about 50 yards from the main building right now. And I will do it for sure once and if Heather comes home here and we don't get disconnected in between, we'll get Mike's link up on there. I think it's maybe because BK's not at a computer. She's probably on a device, a phone. I think you may have to be at a PC. But generally, yeah, mods can do that. I think it's the type of device. There's some things that are limited to PC. So my name's Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. I'm a little sleepy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little sleepy this Saturday, man. It took me a long time to get out here, y'all. And right now I'm scraping grain off this buckskin. So welcome if you're new here. Shout out to all new folks. Also shout out to all members in the chat. We got a new person up there. It looks like they wrote in Hebrew though, so I would have to translate that. It's probably just like hello or something, I imagine. Well, looks like Hebrew to me. Or Coptic. That's the only two things it could be, right? I don't think any other languages look like that. How's everybody doing, man? Everybody as tired as me? Y'all all tired? Don't be tired. I got dogs in here just waiting for me to throw down scraps. Yesterday I threw down some little rawhide scraps and they were loving that. Yeah, they were loving that. The dogs here. I have noticed if I really have problems, like this is a tough spot here, right? I think this is up by the neck. Nope, this is not. This is the lower back area. Butt, like the butt. There's some of these spots, if you just give them a little spritz of some water, it's easier to get that grain off. Rattlesnakes. Never tanned a, I never tanned a rattlesnake, but what's her name? Fly On Education. She has one of those that she showed the other night. A tan snake hide. It was pretty cool. People were talking about the difference between snake sheds, which is skin, dead skin that snakes shed, right? And snake skin that's tanned, it's leather, right? And I think I knew enough to speak on this where I was saying, yeah, you've got sheds, which are like fingernails, but snake leather is actually the body of the snake. And somebody was like, nice. Okay. Thank you, man. Processing leather or repairing shoes. Yeah, we're going to do some cobbling in here. Let me, did I bring my box in here? I don't think I brought my box in here with all my cool stuff. So I got some like barge cement and some cork. We're going to do some cobbling in here. We're going to build some footwear out of cork. I'm gonna grind it up in a blender, and we're gonna mix it with barge, and we're gonna make some wet form shoe soles with leather. I may have to get me some more hides though. I'm a little short on hides to do a lot of stuff. I got to pick and choose my projects, but I've got the barge stuff, and I want a pair of flip flops because I'm gonna go to Chesapeake Bay and crab fishing this summer, and I like to have like decent flip flops for that. So I'm gonna make myself a nice pair of buckskin cork and put some rubber on the bottom of them. I'm gonna recycle, use what I've got here. There's hardly any grain left on here. It's just a little bit of grain. Wish I knew what to call you there, sir. I'm getting to a point where some of these spots where I don't want to dig into the hide anymore on this one too much here, because I just don't want to tear it. Oh yay, look who's here. Did y'all hear all that? What's up, Michael? Michael is making stuff in the building. Cedar said, "You have a new fan. My niece stole my PC." Well, I'm glad she's watching. I hope she learned something. Tell your niece I said hello, Paul. Apparently, my son won one of those gift memberships. Hey, if you're not a member, if you're not a subscriber, do subscribe right now. Double tap that screen, like this video. Mix ground cork and wood glue for the sole of. That's exactly what I'm going to do, my friend. Man, I want to know your name because that is exactly precisely what we're going to do. I'm going to take a blender in here. We're going to put my cork sheets into the blender. We'll blend it around. We'll put I'm going to put barge in there. We're going to mix that up. I'm going to let it get tacky. And then I saw some video that Heather showed me how to basically squeeze that into a shoe form, and then we'll heat gun it or iron it down. I'm psyched. Yeah, I'm going to do that for sure. That's exactly what I'm going to do, man. Glad you put that in the chat. It's precisely what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm excited to do that. It's going to be fun. Gonna be fun. We're gonna lay out some sandals. I'm gonna try to use as much because this buckskin, if I just make every layer leather, the leather's gonna get destroyed by the street, right? And then we'll waste that good leather. I wanna make sure my design is really solid. I've been really studying the flip flop designs. Hey Mike, you had a good live last night, right? Hey you, Heather in the building. Thank you. There's a ghost in there. Ooh, that's good. Wow. Huh. I could get with that. That's good. Oh, was this the UBK who brought up the Ozium the other day? I found Ozium in my stuff. I've had this for a long time. Big fan of Ozium. It's that air clean. Hey, pelado. Pelado. Or as Cedar calls him, Plato. And he does. Do you not call him Plato? Yeah, I was over at Plato's Live. I was over at Plato's Live there for a little bit. He was in there doing something, getting disconnected. Thank you, Pilato. Pilato said like button activated. If you haven't activated that like button, if you haven't activated the like button, I ask you in my new microphone with my most calm voice, please double tap that screen. Please like this video. And also, if you haven't subscribed, we're on the march to 5,050 subscribers. Please consider subscribing and adding to this massive family that's so large that it's just like a snowballing now. You know, if I wanted to control it, I couldn't, but I do. So I want it to keep growing. So do subscribe right now, right as I say that. Is it good? Why would Mike retract that message? Go to my channel page. Subscribe. Dad's Workshop. Buckskin cow. Scraping buckskin. Yesterday I felt embarrassed. Can I tell you why? I like to think I know a lot of stuff, especially, a lot of useless stuff. Can y'all hear when I whisper like that? Cheech 420, what's up, man? Can y'all hear when I talk like that? So somebody said, what does this was in DT Rob, or as he refers to himself, White Rob, said what does MDF stand for? And I'm going to tell you, I didn't know that, Mike. And I was embarrassed. I thought the last letter stood for Formica. So I said, I think the last letter stands for Formica. And Lions made a fool out of me. And I was embarrassed and my feelings were hurt. But it's okay. Not everybody knows everything. Didn't work with a lot of MDF. And I'm just saying, it just hurt my feelings, And it's not anybody's fault that I didn't know it. It was me. But I'm just venting that. See how I vent? Watch me vent. Then watch me nay. Use a rounded leather edge. Set a double layer of leather to create a strong seal. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, man. That's what we're going to do. We are going to make a rounded leather edge. For sure. Right now, I'm getting all of the last bit of grain off this thing. And then I might brush this because this needs a little work. It's a little ragged. But I'm going to scrape it. We're going to work it. We're going to twist it and work it. Otherwise known as twerking. When you're twisting and working, you're actually Oh no, BK, don't worry. It was humbling, BK. I should have known what MDF stood for. I hate MDF, but I should have known what it stood for. Like I know what OSL is, right? But I don't know what MDF is. I stayed away from it as much as I could. You like how I'm talking in this voice now? Oh, you don't. Mike says, no, Cal, please don't twerk. Mike, listen. Listen. If I want to, it's my show. I can twerk if I want to. And I told you already. I mean, Miss Heather has literally seen me twerk probably today. As a matter of fact, um, I'm not saying days or weeks ago. I'm saying within 24 hours, she has probably seen that. Oh, they like this. They like this. Okay, we can do this. So what I'm doing now, guys, is I'm scraping this hide with the kind of blunt edge of this hatchet here that I have not sharpened completely. And with this voice, I'm going to tell you everything that I do from now on, apparently. Probably save myself a little bit of projection. We're just scraping, basically taking off the last of the grain here. I think it's calming me down to talk like that. Hey, please subscribe. We're almost at 5,050 subscribers. My goal today is 50 subscribers. Come on, y'all. Come on. Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Do it, please. I'm asking nicely, and I won't ask any other way. I'll only ask nicely. Please. Subscribe to the channel. Everyone here who knows me knows this is how I always am. Laid back Cal, that's what they used to call me. Down to earth Cal. Now I'm called Buckskin Cal. Some people have the nerve to call me Crazy Cal. I don't think that's true, though. I don't think that's true. I don't think I'm crazy. Plus, I don't think that word's very nice to say. Especially behind someone's back like a coward. I'm just kidding, guys. See how calm I am? Not even worked up. Now that I can talk like this, I think I could get into it. It's not psycho, Miss Heather. Miss Heather just, sometimes it seems like she doesn't understand me. Like she just called that psycho. Come on, y'all. I mean, Pilata said he has to go for a bit. He doesn't go for this bit, but he has to go for a bit. Pilata, we wish you the best when you go. Well, actually, for crying out soft. Can't cry too loud. Might disturb the fans. I'll be back in a little. The old Calvin will be back in a little bit. Scraping skins and doing stuff and things and things and stuff. Mike said, I just watched an episode of my 600-pound life, and this dude keeps a grill and a cooler in the trunk and makes his family pull over to make him a meal if they drive. My question is, how can he still fit in the car, um, and demand such a service be provided to him? See how calmly I asked that question? Super calm, just delivered, just like that. How can such a demand be placed on a family? And A, how would he fit in the car? B, how could such a demand be placed on that family? Yeah, you like that? I mean, I would definitely steal a wing or two. He would not get away with eating all the wings off the grill, you know. They should bring the grill and then just say, you know, just put some pineapple on there and some raw vegetables with olive oil. And say, yeah, we grilled you some food, you know. But now all they do, they would just put that in the car. They would just shoot them with some Ozempic. So my 600-pound life, the show is going to end. It will no longer be necessary. It'll be pharmaceutical out of place. I mean, it's also, I mean, we can get into all of it, but it's also on the person that provides them with the food, right? So the person who drives the car that has the grill and the meat in the trunk, those people are actually abusing the big person because they're enabling them to the point where they will actually do these things that are not a normal action. It's not a normal thing to bring someone to 12-piece chickens, right? And the sides, like to like full family size sides, and then bring them dessert and they're in bed. Like, it's not normal to bring somebody that volume of food, but these people do it. So if you have free will, you have to say no. Otherwise, you become complacent or you become part of the problem, and you become an abuser. So you are. It seems like it's all the person who's big's fault, but they're like, it's a game between them and the other person. It's the way their relationship is toxic. One of them likes it because for some reason it makes them feel powerful, because the person is basically handicapped, and the other one likes it because they're served constantly and can constantly indulge, and their dopamine and their brain is going crazy because they're eating rich foods constantly. Rich foods are like the worst drugs ever. You guys, we all know this. Rich foods are, if you've ever tried to stop eating a really rich food, you'll know it's not easy. Food is extremely, it's a part of our experience embedded in our head since we're little. It's complicated as hell is what it is, you know. It's very complicated for me to try to even sum it up like that. But it definitely, someone had to point out to me that the person bringing, delivering, manufacturing, cooking in some cases, because people can, I know how to cook a ton of food. I could probably cook enough fried chicken to keep somebody super, super fat. I wouldn't want to do that, you know? Like, I know how to cook for a bunch of people. But a lot of people, these folks eat a lot of food. We're not talking about a little, and this is extreme circumstances. These are outliers, not normal, folks. Everyone, people get big, 300, 400, but it's the rare outlier that gets up that big. And it's a micro, the problem is generally like the same for the people that are still, unhealthily big, but they're not 600 pounds. The problems are usually still similar. They're still being supplied or enabled by somebody. It's just how it is. My college fitness teacher, what his job was and how he made his money, because he didn't make a lot of money as a professor, as a college PE teacher, at least in those days. He made his money working fat camps in the summer, which were for many years the way that very wealthy people would try to cut weight quickly. They would pay a lot of money and go to these fat camps, which I'm sure they still exist. It's like the equivalent of going to a boot camp, portion control center. Basically, they're controlling all your portions. You're getting psychologically beaten a little bit, so I think some of that they've probably numbed a little bit. There you go, man. We got to go pick up a fridge. We should transport it upright. Well, yeah, that's I'll let Mike answer that question, but I think that we have to because of the oil and the compressor. You're not supposed to turn them upside down. That's good, Mike. I'm glad to hear that your pounds are going down. What I want is people to feel good and be healthy. You know, I want you to feel good about who you are and what you look like and be healthy. You know, that's and I'm not going to dictate what someone else makes someone else happy and what they should do to find themselves happiness. But I do believe that going to food is as bad or worse than going to a bottle or to a drug, a pill or an injection or whatever you want to call it. I think it can all be, yeah. BK said, I walked 10 miles a day and lost a lot of weight. I had to stay very busy to keep it off. Now I'm stuck down and the weight is packing on. Yeah, there's always going to be fluctuation in people. What I think in my opinion, and when I was doing my channel as kind of a fitness channel, my opinion is that people should not take gaining weight as a loss. It's not, the game's not over. Like you just change one thing, do gradually, do things incrementally. Don't worry about I got it tomorrow. I'm going to start a kale diet. I'm going to eat all kale and olive oil. I'm going to steam the kale. I'm going to eat one egg white a day. I mean, come on, y'all. It's setting up for failure. You do that. You want to take one thing out of your box, right? So that it's easy to take it out, or it's easier. It's never easy to remove these things from our box. So people get they'll say I lost, or they in their head they're like, I'm a failure, I'm a fraud, I only lost that weight because I was on Weight Watchers or whatever for that time, and now I can't keep it off. No, you're just in the game still, and right now you're behind, so you gotta catch up. But catching up just means go out for a 10-minute walk, 20-minute walk. The doctors say a 20-minute walk a day for a lot of people is going to make a huge difference. Mike says, I think one thing that will help people isn't knowing the calories of food, it's knowing the calories of activity. Calories deficit, weight loss, calorie surplus, weight gain. So it is calories in, calories out. That is a fact. That's if you're going through a severe obesity issue, calories in, calories out is the most important thing. And you will lose a lot of weight quickly if you're larger. You make a change, your body will respond quicker if you're a bigger person. Mike's premise. I said that to somebody one time, and they're like, "Yeah, of course," but that's physics. What are you saying? But people don't think about that. They're like, if I do, for example, ice cream is really unhealthy, right? But if you make the ice cream, like I go to the store, y'all hear my stomach growl? It's making me think of food. It's making my stomach growl. I go to the store and get the cream, or God forbid, I actually milk the cow myself. I mix the cream and the sugar, and even using an ice cream maker, I actually had to stir the sugar in to dissolve the sugar into the milk to make the ice cream. I've burned a lot of calories doing that. So, there's a lot of doctors and nutritionalists that'll say, eat whatever foods you want, just make it yourself, right? Because part of the making it yourself mitigates a bunch of calories. Hey, Nikki, welcome. So there's an argument behind that, calories in, calories out's important, but you could think, and there's calorie counting apps. I don't mind bringing some up, like Lose It. That's a great app for counting calories. You can scan food in it. I don't know if you can still get a free version of that one. That was a great one. That one works really well. Also, if you're like trying to get exercising, there's an app called Couch to 5K that's really, none of these companies that sponsor me, they're just, they work. Couch to 5K, if you've ever heard of that app, even if you don't go all the way to the 5K, let it start with little interval run walks, which I know there's a lot of impact for that. Here's the trade-off though. You get a gym membership, that's a lot of a commitment, right? And you may lose something out of that, which is your money and your, and then you'll also feel like you failed because you spent money on a gym membership and now you didn't show up. Or you can start by just exercising every day outside your house, and then once you've done that for a few months and you feel like you've made a good habit of exercise, then you switch over and get yourself a gym membership because you know you'll use it, or buy yourself a piece of equipment because you know you'll use it. People do it's always the carriage before the horse. People want the result and they just want to pay for it, you know. And you know, it's just how it is here. We pay for results. Everything is kind of instant gratification. And recently I decided I needed to do more strength because I was getting, in my opinion of myself, you know, this is going to sound weird. I don't know, weird people out about their body image, but I thought I was getting a bit flabby. So I'm like, I need to do more push-ups, or I need to integrate some. I'm not going to go get a gym membership. I can't afford it, but I need to integrate some sort of strength into my daily regimen because I was just doing my basic cardio, which is okay, but will never, I can't, as a guy that's getting older, I have to do strength in order to maintain healthy muscle mass to do the running, because you can't run unless you have a certain muscle mass on your body. It's just how it is. Fusion says, I want to be fit. I'm sitting here eating crisps thinking that yeah, yeah. Mike said, I always kept it simple. You want a snack from the convenience store? Fine, walk. Then you can go get it. And that's kind of the concept, is just be mindful of if you're worried about that. If you're happy with yourself, that's the most important thing you can be. If for some reason someone is happy being super big, and even though it comes with a lot of pain, physical pain and difficulties, then I have no problem with the way you look. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with that to me. But there are ways besides the pharmaceutical route. You know, I'm noticing, and I told this to Heather, no offense to anybody who's taking any of those pharmaceuticals. I have nothing wrong. Whatever your doctor and you have going on, that is fine. I'm not a doctor, so it's not my place to speculate on that. But what I've seen from folks that are on the diabetes medication to lose weight is that they don't get muscle mass, so they look weak or emaciated, right? Um, just my opinion. My opinion is the folks that are on and I know have people in my family who are on these medications, and they're proud of it, and they should be. But at the same time, they can't pick up a log or whatever the same way. They can't move around in the same way either. So I'm noticing it doesn't help you gain muscle mass to carry your frame. Everything in science is showing now healthy proteins, muscle strength, and muscle health are super important. So a person doing 10 or 15 squats a day may even be better than walking 3 or 4 miles, or walking a couple miles and doing a few squats is maybe the most important thing you could do in your day. It seems like that's where the science is pointing. Heather said she got us like 4 pounds of peanut M&Ms. So see, I love my sweets. I had to get ice cream out of my life. It was just too much. Couldn't do ice cream anymore. It's addictive, y'all. It's addictive. I think it took me a few months to actually break my ice cream addiction. Let me go back and get some more comments too from folks that I missed. Um, Fusion said, "Hey Mike, lovely to see you on John's live earlier." Mike said earlier, he said we picked that up in the Army. Got to monitor calories in and out, even if you're eating whatever you scrounge in the field. Maintain the ratio. BK said high diffusion. Yep. So I think I'm caught up. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin, and we're hanging out here in the workshop on this beautiful Saturday. It's raining here, but every day is a beautiful day that we're here breathing. So we got to be appreciative of that. Glad you're here with me. Could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here in the workshop with me. So I do ask that you double tap that screen and like the video and also subscribe. I got a bit to go, but I am smoothing myself back into my Army PT. Alternate days, push-ups, sit-ups, and jumping jacks one day, 1 mile run the next day, no PT on Sunday. Just be careful, Mike, because my grandfather, he ran and was also smoked, so he was a heavy smoker. There's risk factors when you exercise, and you have to be careful. Just be careful. I think you could do it. Just be careful and monitor your heart rate. If your heart rate is very, very high, and then you don't push yourself to do these set distances. Let your body build up to that stuff. I'm gonna tell you, when I was in college, I was a smoker, and they had us run the mile, and I ran like what I thought was a pretty damn good mile. It was like 7 minutes and 30 seconds as a pack a day smoker. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I was huffing air, and when I went back into swimming to get in swimming shape, the smoking really hit me. Then it was very hard just to be a good, decent swimmer and be a smoker. Very hard. So and they do say, and I'm not, I'll stay away from that stuff. Just say, be careful. Be careful. Exercise can kill you. It killed my great grandfather, man. He went out on a run, like a 4-mile run with the dog. He didn't even drink, but he was a very heavy smoker, multiple packs a day. He went for a run. He was 52 years old, I want to say. Went for a run with the dog, came back, was tired, fell asleep, died in his sleep of a heart attack. So I never met him, Yeah, Mike, the pool's not a bad idea anyways, because it stretches internal parts of your body. Muscles get stretched in water, suspended in water that you can't stretch outside on dry land. So having a pool is an advantage fitness wise, and for your body longevity wise, because it's like where joints are getting compressed by gravity. You can work against that when you're in a pool. You can stretch in ways that you can't stretch on land. There's ways to hold your body, and you can do core exercises more easily in a pool by just like holding the side, right, and kicking. Things like that are great core work, and stretch parts of your spine and stuff that are hard to stretch. So that pool is a good thing to have, man. Pool noodle can is your weights. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Stop, says Miss Heather. Miss Heather says this: if you are getting weary, if you're working and you're starting to feel like woozy, got to be careful, man. Be careful. Do the whole thing. Don't overdo. This is what I had a coworker that started going to the gym when I had a gym membership. This was sort of the end of my employment at the schools. Another teacher started going to the gym. I was at the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, I'm gonna get in shape like you. Not trying to blow my own horn, but I was definitely in better shape than I am now then. But he's like, I'm gonna get in shape, and I was like, I was there. He missed like a couple of weeks. We did a couple of days where I was like, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. Basic stuff. And he missed a couple of days, and then he came back, and I got this text message. He's like, yeah, I went to the gym and did 2.5 hours to make up for all of those days I missed. And I said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do too much to compensate for not doing enough. Do a tiny bit so that you don't burn out. People do themselves in psychologically, right? They'll set a bar too high for themselves so they fail on purpose. It's almost like defeatism, and they do it subconsciously. They'll say, I missed 5 days at the gym because you hate going to the gym. Why do you hate going to the gym? Because the last time you went to the gym, you forced yourself to do 3 hours there and go to every machine. Like, that's not nobody wants to do that unless they're like a professional fitness person. Go to the gym, do a couple machines, get a sweat worked up, shower, leave, and see how you feel about that. And then go to the gym every other day for a few minutes. Don't go for 3 hours and feel like you have to go and have somebody at the gym show you every machine. Read up on a machine, do a little bit, little tiny bits so that you don't burn out. And then that little bit might expand. You might start getting into something in the gym and that'll expand. It's just like anything, always for normal people. And I am not a normal person, so I can't profess to be that way. But for a normal person, everything should be paced. Like, don't do 3 hours at the gym because you missed your 30 minutes at the gym a couple days. Go back and do your 30 minutes. That's getting back on track. It's not overkill. Getting back on track is just go do that little bit. And I see people, that's like another thing I saw with people, and I saw it with him. I'm not normal. I mean, I say that for myself, but Rob said that as well down there at the bottom. How you doing today, Rob? Hey, welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we're talking about right now. We're talking about exercise and why we like it or what we're doing and stuff like that. Baby Kisser says, hang on to the side of the pool noodle under the foot, up and down. Underfoot, up and down is same as leg lifts. Yeah, definitely. It's just gravity. Gravity is producing in the water. That's why those water weights are really cool. Yeah. Yes, that's right. So in the pool, it just takes that impact out. It takes that impact out of it, so you get the workout and things like that without the damage to your joints, which is like prerequisite. Good. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. They have a sauna, man. I don't know, about 45 minutes, maybe spread into 15-minute chunks for me. Sauna, pool, that temperature polarity, where you go from a cold environment to a hot environment, a hot to cold. That's proven to fight mood disorders. I as a little guy, I think I learned that. I think I figured that out as a kid. I liked going into the sauna. I had to have permission back in those days. It'd be permission to go in the sauna, then I would go in the hot tub, then I would jump in the pool and swim around. It was something that yep, a cold shower or some sort of splash of cold water, as long as you're in good health, because you can sometimes put your body into shock doing that. But in general, as a therapeutic measure, it really works. It works. Try that temperature polarity. That's why these companies out in California, these companies made a whole bunch of money doing this cryo freezing stuff, because it's the same concept. They would put somebody in a booth. The booth gets they spray cold all over their bodies, essentially. They come out, it's not dangerous to them, but they come out in that cold, and the shift in temperature, it feels warm. They get this warm feeling over their body. You'll see that too when you shower in cold water or you get in cold water. Your body responds by just filling the capillaries. In a lot of cases, it seems like your body heats to respond to cold. So you have a lot of it. Seems to work circulation, seems to be a circulation thing. I'm not a doctor. I've never studied it. I just know, I know it works for me, and I know it's been studied, but you would have to check the record to see empirical data about these things. I'm not a psychologist, but I do suffer like a lot of people from these things, and so I in my life have learned these ways to cope. Now, right now, I don't have a gym membership. My brother is a guy who suffers from some of the same stuff. And he started taking cold showers years ago. My brother did that, and so even in the winter, the guy takes cold shower. It's crazy. Um, and it's just a normal guy. It does do something. The the temperature, and someone can tell me what the name is of this type of therapy, but it's basically going from hot to cold to hot to cold. It delivers, I think it stimulates the like endocannabinoids, dopamine, and you got these other, brain chemistry that's it's working for you. Good stuff, man. I don't mind talking about that kind of stuff. Good stuff. Meaningful. Um, yeah, so DT said I have a sauna but hate the steam room. So I only recently went in a steam room for the first time in my entire life. This was, I think I made a video about this. I've got a video about the YMCA. So I went to the Y and they had a steamer. It's a huge Y. I've never been to one of these. So I made a review about it, not to plug my video. It doesn't really matter if you watch it or not. But it was a couple years ago. And the steam room was nice, but the steam room, if you come out of that steam room and you put like a moisturizer on your skin, or you try to apply any kind of lotion or anything to your skin right afterwards, your pores are open. It will burn you. You have to be careful. Seems to be, and even it got worse as, well, nah, because I experienced a steam shower, which this happened to me first. Took a steam shower, came out of the shower, put moisturizer on my skin. It just made me, I just turned into like a tomato. It made my body react everywhere. And this is stuff I used every day. For some reason, with the pores open, or what the steam caused, it didn't work with me. So to Rob's point about the steam room, I only went in one for the first time a couple years ago, and it was okay, but that was something that I noticed about it, was you can't apply anything to your skin like right afterwards. It burns, but that means it's getting your pores open. So if that's what your goal is, and when you do this stuff, you go hot to cold, your pores are opening and closing, presumably, right? You're basically ensuring that when you're hot, or when you steam in that steam room, and it varies in there because I've been in there a few times when it was hotter, and sometimes when it wasn't as much steam. The steam room, you know, you're going in there, pores are just wide open. You come out, you get into a swimming pool or into a cold shower, the pores then tighten up, and you're doing that repeatedly. So I think my experience is it works really well for, I think even as a teenager, when I was in college, I went to school for music. So I had to play recitals. And so before I played a recital, I would try to go to the gym, go get in the sauna, swim laps, uh, swim laps for the cardio. Then I would get in the hot tub, and I would get in the sauna, and then go back and repeat that process over again. And that would calm me down. I would be able, my blood pressure would be lower when I played those recitals, where everything was on the line and I was naturally very tense. The other students were taking beta blockers. I didn't know this until after I got out of school, that the other music school students were taking like drugs to get them through these really nerve-wracking moments. I had no idea such a thing even existed. Isn't that crazy? I didn't know there was an anti-nervous drug until later, and I was out of college and I saw this documentary talking about how music students were taking it. And then I asked some people I went to school with, and they were like, yeah, man, of course, had to, or whatever. I always wondered why they were so calm. How are you calm? There's 500 people watching you play the piano. It's impossible, in my opinion. So tell me, have you subscribed to the channel? Do subscribe. Do double tap that screen, like this video, y'all. Saturday afternoon, not my typical time going on. I was a little lazy today. It's Heather's fault, you know. She made me tired this morning. She made me run around and do all this stuff. It's all Heather's fault. And Pilato moved my stuff around in here, like I said, like a gremlin. So I just, I was a little later than I usually am. So just forgive my numbers. Oh no, you lost me for a moment. Sometimes I lose myself for a moment. It's a little chillier out here than it was earlier. Is our warm temperatures gone? I'm in shorts out here. I'm in shorts. So much for the warmth. I got to remember it is February. I might tan this a little more if I have to get some of these spots out. Some of this uneven color. I have the tannin liquor like ready, the bark liquor ready. I don't want to scrape too much more, I don't think. Getting to a point where I think I'll scrape this thing enough. Maybe not. Maybe not. What do you think? It's 0 there. Huh. Let me ask you a personal question. Have you personally subscribed to the channel? That's what Pilato said. Have you personally subscribed to the channel? I ask that you subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big buck's hide that I turned into a large buck skin. There is some like evidence of grain on here, or like that membrane, skin membrane. Can't get that off there for some reason. Or it's just like that's what it looks like there. And anyways, the other parts are really nice and soft. These are scars from where I did battle with other deer. This was something I noticed with this hide early on. It had all these battle marks with these other deer, like here and here. This one was this animal probably had to defend itself pretty frequently, and it was an older guy too, older developed guy. Yeah, well, here, and I don't know if you're in the States, and I wish I knew what to call you, man. We have a tradition with a type of leather that we call buckskin, where you do it quite a bit, This one's nice and soft after yesterday. I'm going to scrape the inside of this just a little bit, but this is white-tailed deer here. It's gotten better since yesterday. I can feel it. These spots right here, I want to scrape a little bit. Right in here. I'm psyched today. I'm getting my shears and I got my barge adhesive. So now I can kind of get into cobbling and making shoes and stuff. Liquid calories. Yeah, and then there is something to this though, Mike. Check this out. Here's a number I'm gonna throw out here. So calories in, calories out, right? But in certain circumstances, because like proteins aren't going to carry as much water per like in a molecule, right? So like here's an example. For every gram of carbs that you physically eat, that carb is going to that molecule of carbohydrate molecule is going to link to 5 times its weight in water. So for each carb, it's grabbing 5 times that water weight. Unlike a protein, when you eat that, it's not going to necessarily grab water weight with it. So if you eat like 5 grams of rice, for example, the 5 grams of rice could turn into 25 grams in your system because of the molecules. It grabs water molecules and it will grab them from it. This is the way I understand it. I'll let a scientist or a doctor correct me. But carbs are the one exception. So there, with a beer, like you have calories and you have lots of carbs too, because it's just from a grain, a cereal grain. You know, if that's what we're talking about. I kind of buried the lead there. Two dudes, what's up? Two dudes. Soaking it in salt, the beginning of the operation, the best way to avoid most defects. Yep, I agree with that. This got soaked in salt, and it was in a vinegar solution. And then I smoked it. I actually put a brain solution on it. Then I smoked it. And then it's been worked on since then, scraped more, just to get it soft. Because they get really, they get stiff real easily. But I've gotten this one back to like baby soft now. Whoops. Now it's like nice and soft, and it's a big warm hide too. Maybe right in here. These things are bare as a job. Like, it is not a small thing to carbs turn into sugar for sure, right? Same thing. But they also carb molecules grab water molecules too. And so they actually attract more weight. But I have to like confirm that, fact check myself on that. Pasta and rice are like brown rice, it's got some fiber in it, so it helps mitigate some of those carbs. And then and brown rice is not bad, y'all. It's good. It's not like hardly even different than white rice. People just think they need white rice. It doesn't. It's not. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. If you haven't switched over, just put some butter in there. It's all right. Eat some butter. No big deal. It'll make your brown rice taste good. I'm a big fan of butter. I know it has triglycerides in it, but it makes stuff taste good. And if you have a hard time with some foods, healthier foods, add a little butter, and then bring the butter amount that you use down, and replace it with olive oil. And eventually you can, just like I say, incrementalism, y'all. Incrementalism. Bill, what's up? Bill Clancy, member. Yeah, there you go, Mike. My lunch today: ground beef and pinto beans. No tortillas, just to avoid the starch. I'm gonna tell you, I worked in a lot of restaurants, and all of the Latin women in every restaurant that I worked in, whenever they ate the food of the restaurant, if it had bread, they emptied the bread out of the bun. Every Latin woman I ever worked with, they would, if I ate, and I worked with many in restaurants, so they were always conscious of how much bread they ate. It was crazy. Saw it. Swear to God, not a phenomenon I made up. Maybe Mike can vouch for that culturally. Soft, soft and nice. This one feels pretty good right now. Maybe I'll work this back a little bit. Let me do this part here a little bit. This part's a little stiff. Mike had a good night last night, man. I fell asleep, as I do on Fridays, but I heard it got lit in there. You know, I'm trying to mimic what a cable would do, right? If I was pulling it against a cable, it would just rough this side up right here. I want to take some fabric because the texture's all right, But I love this one, and I've slept under this before because it's so warm. When it was really cold here, I put it on top of me, fell right asleep. Very, very warm fur. Plantville, yes, welcome. And Miss Heather's great at welcoming our folks. We love our folks here, and we're happy to have you, Bill. Glad you popped in. And I think you're a member too. A lot of gift memberships. Emre, if you're out there, shout out to Emre. Dacian, he gave away a ton of memberships recently, and so thanks to him. A lot of gift members out there. This is real thin. I can feel it actually going through the hide, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. Yeah. We're getting real. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. This one I've really scraped a lot, and I'm starting to get to a point where I think the actual hair is coming to the other side of the hide, so I don't want to scrape that anymore. But it's soft. Got that one completely soft. I got all of these soft. And now when I put them into a hat, I'm actually gonna add some liner fabric to them, so that they can hold rigid on there. Bill Clancy, I think it was probably Emre, who may still be in the chat. If you're in the chat, say hi, Emre. He gifted a lot of members. It's also possible that Pilato gave you membership as well. Pilato's given this in the last 28 days. I think Pilato's probably given 10 memberships or more. So it could be Pilato. Very likely was Emre. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder why that is, because like leavened bread is no, it's just all that leavening is doing is just increasing the amount of gas or air inside of the bread. It's adding air bubbles, right? But it may make the bread more tasty, so you eat more. Man, that challah bread, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, that stuff is so good. I was good at making bread before I got diagnosed with celiac. I was a guy, I could make bread without a recipe. Give me some yeast and give me flour and salt and the basics. A bread pan. I could even do it without a bread pan. Make a loaf that'll stand up. My grandmother came one time to the house, and I had made this two beautiful loaves of bread. No recipe at all. I just got a feel for it. Um, and Yeah, I could do that before I got diagnosed with celiac. Then I can't do it anymore now. Celiac is a autoimmune disease that where I can't. My body produces these like self harming antibodies by if I eat barley, wheat, barley, or rye. It's one of the only autoimmune diseases where they know the trigger for it is these cereal grains. Some people with it can't even eat corn because there is a type of gluten in corn too, but it doesn't bother me. That one doesn't. It's wheat, barley, and rye, and I didn't know it until I was in my 30s. I probably had it my whole life. Yeah, wheat, barley, and rye all contain that protein, so I can't eat wheat, barley, or rye. They're all basically of kind of the same plant, essentially. It's been, over the years, it's over thousands of years we've bred it. It was discovered in most of the time. Mike said corn tortillas are gluten free most of the time. Some of these companies that make them here, though, they make them in factories where they also make wheat products, so I can't eat them. But generally, corn tortilla is a good option for me. If it's made without being around bread, I'll get real. The reason I figured it out was not that I got real sick. I got a pretty high pain threshold, and I can handle being sick a lot. And I think, sick for many years from it and didn't even know it. What got me was this rash that started developing on my elbows, behind my head, on my neck, above my butt, like on my back, behind my knees, and in front of my knees. And I'm trying to think one other place. Oh, like in upper part of my groin area. Every day. So imagine having poison ivy. If you're allergic to poison ivy and you've ever gotten it, imagine having poison ivy on your elbows, upper groin, back, head, and knees. I say knees, elbows, back, head, back, neck, back of head. Every single day, poison ivy all over your body. And that's what it felt like. And so I just couldn't. I kept going to these different doctors, and I had good insurance at the time. I went to these doctors to try to figure it out, and it wasn't until I went to one. Uh, Actually, it was my primary care doctor. She's like, I think it may be dietary, and um, I I went to a gastroenterologist on a day off, and I told him I wanted to get an endoscopy of my colon to check and see if I had this skin problem from something I was eating. And he was like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that." And I got pissed with this doctor. I told the doctor that I was not. I was like, I took a day off for this, and I'm going to investigate this. And if you're not going to help me, we're going to figure something out because I paid my money here to sit in this doctor's office and took my day off. And he was like, "Okay, well, I'll do the gastroenterological piece, and we'll schedule you a colonoscopy with an endoscopy and a biopsy of the small bowel." So they did a biopsy, and they took the biopsy, and the biopsy came back uh, with celiac sprue, which means that when they look at the cilia or the villi, whatever those little hairs are in your intestines, on a person with celiac, they're blunted. They're like short, and they call that blunted villi, I believe. It's or celiac sprue is the name for it. It's how the doctors can tell when they look at, and they take the tissue from your small intestine and put it under a microscope and compare it with healthy tissue, and that's how they find out. So that's how I found out, and that's what it is. It was discovered. The disease was discovered in World War II in the Netherlands. It's common with people from like Northern Europe. Also, you find it in some of these populations in North Africa. Um, but the biggest is like this area of Finland and Russia where you find the most of it. And it is in various, you find it in every culture, but it's in larger concentrations there. And they found it because they were delivering rations to the Dutch children, and there was this group of Dutch children that was not getting better when the rations were being dropped. And when the Nazis stopped the rations from being dropped, these kids got better. So this doctor was studying it. I think his name was celiac, and that's why the disease is called that, because he figured it out based on it not these kids improving. Oh, some.
Don't even just maybe don't touch them with your hands. I'm worried about what you
Yeah,
touched.
I don't know. I don't want to.
Sorry.
Sorry, let me put them down here.
I explained what I said. Uh, you having to pay to take a day off. I explained that.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that crazy? I don't know if they know that. And I'm assuming it's not everywhere. So you just have to pay yourself to take a day.
Yeah, well, most people in the world do deal with not leave without pay. They understand that.
Yeah, but as
Uh,
teachers, you're supposed to like catch it. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's like for regular hourly employees.
yeah, yeah. Essentially, yeah. Man, these raccoon furs, I think I just want them to air out a bit. They feel really soft. I don't want them to stay moist that much longer though. I don't want to scrape them a lot either, but they're definitely nice and soft. We're gonna make a hat with these, and I got a big head, so it's gonna take two of these to make it. Um, Happy everybody came here today. Glad I got to explain that to you. Um, Let me go back in the chat. Somebody was talking about their grandchild. Oh, I'm sorry to hear your grandbaby has an autoimmune disease. Yeah, it's those that they suck. Yeah, generally corn tortillas are gluten free. Breads are delicious. Back in the old days, Calvin, I learned something today about celiac disease because I didn't know about the history that you just talked about. Very interesting. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. I didn't even know too much about it. My dad's boss had it. So I heard the word once or twice bounced around. But let me tell you what is interesting about it. Pick the camera up a little so you can see. My grandfather raised all sorts of cereal grains. He was a wheat farm. Like part of his fields were sometimes growing wheat. But when I was little and we were eating dinner, and we always ate as a family, especially at his house, he always ate rice cakes instead of bread. Everybody else at the table had bread, including me. but he would eat rice cakes. And I would say, why? Why? He couldn't eat the bread. This is my grandfather, right? Something he reacted to this to the bread. He couldn't eat wheat. But celiac, like even then, you just didn't hear the word very often. And I don't think they ever figured it out because they sent him to the Mayo Clinic, which is not that far from where he lived. Just he lived in Minnesota, so it was Rochester from him is like 90 miles. So he went to the Mayo Clinic, and they figured it was something dietary related. Then they figured out it was related to wheat. It had to have been triggered by some sort of infection. But what I think is that I probably got it from my grandfather. And like a lot of families, I'll be the first one to tell you. Now, my parents are not related to each other, but back in the day on my dad's side of the family, there's some double dipping. So I'm like double Seetin, right? Somewhere back there. And that doesn't help people when it comes to genetic diseases, right? These sorts of diseases, they stay around because people don't diversify their genetics. They don't uh and then I don't mean just finding, I mean outside, you just it's just better. Of course, you shouldn't date your cousin. Everybody knows that. But the you're better off dating somebody from like a whole different town. Date somebody from the other part of the country. It just for your children's sake and stuff. In general, it's like that's a good thing. Doesn't always work out because people bloom where they're sown, right? But in the case of my family, I think that harmed me generations later. After there's been outbreeding, you still have these problems because uh, the gene was doubled down on, right? So my grandfather has this thing. I've got probably a better chance of getting it because he had it like that, and he probably had it because of that double dipping, or what we would nicely refer to as inbreeding, which took place. Anyways, not celiacs are not people who come from inbred families, but I would say that in some case with any genetic disease, you can talk about like the royal family having what do you call it, the blood disease where you don't clot, uh, whatever they call that disease. I should know it right now. But that came up because they're marrying cousins, and then repeatedly cousins and cousins and cousins, and so you could outbreed for a generation and still see the thing pop up. um, that doesn't matter. So Bill said, yeah, didn't know the history. Yeah. So this is so they found out that the kids that in the Netherlands that were not getting rations, that were getting better, were kids who had this thing where they can't process, where wheat causes them to create this, I can't even name it's like an enzyme, and it makes you so sick, man. I don't think I had it my whole life. I think the doctors think it was triggered sometime maybe around when I was 30. um so a little over 10 years ago. And it could have been there before that. I could have had it my whole life. I don't know. I know that the gastroenterologist told me that there was a lot of damage on the inside of my small intestine. So um, it had been there a while. Hemophilia, that's it. Yeah. Hey, brother. Good day. What's up? Hey, welcome. Zophie, stranger. Thanks for popping in the chat. Welcome. I hope everybody's doing great. It's nice in here. I'm glad to have everybody. We're having a good conversation. I'm willing to continue it. Let me take a little water break here. Oh, I've got my drink over here too. Somebody ask a question? Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Bear with me 1 second. My medicine. One lives over there. One lives down that way. It's the same guy who he lives in both places. Yeah, yeah. The chow will follow. He doesn't even care. That is funny. Dogs don't really respond to that though. I don't know if you all noticed, but like a big monster dog that's following you doesn't usually respond to stop. Yeah. So if you have a big huge dog behind you, don't turn around like. And I wish I could demonstrate this for the camera. Just stop, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Half of my comments you know that happens to me, Rob. Where like the comment or in the chat will send half the comment or not the whole comment. Yeah. It gets wonky. Maybe kill the app and come back in. Gets wonky.
I said hi to STV twice and both disappeared.
Really?
I was trying to Google, is STV mean something? But I don't know. I was like, why is it getting flagged? But then my other comments were saved to him, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, it's annoying. Sorry that happened. You know, it doesn't always happen. Here, let's let me grab something here and see if we can measure some stuff out here. I want to use this thing as the form for my. I don't know if I have quite enough workspace for this right now, though. I probably should pull each of those little pieces of leather out of that scrap bag. I'm gonna make a form for my hat, and I need to make flip flop forms too. I got my barge cement in the mail, but I did not get my leather scissors yet, so I want to see those come in. I wonder if it's working now. Hopefully, it works for you better now, man. Got to finish my apron. Got lots of projects to do in here. But let me take this stuff out and get the heat gun out for a second.
You might want to get the refrigerator sooner.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So
Maybe we should do that then. Yeah. Let me heat gun these. Zophie says, "Thank you so much, Miss Heather, for welcoming me. How are you?" I am going to. Oh, I got a new razor saw. A lot of my woodworking folks didn't see, but I got this. We're gonna give this a test drive. This is similar to the one I have now. I really did some searching before I found it. If you're still in Mike and woodworking folks, this should be a super good razor saw. Here's mine, and I believe it's the same company. This is just years. This is the one I use to do the whole bed. See, they're real similar. This one I've had for like 8 years. So this replacement here, I'm psyched to use it to do some woodwork related to the leather work that I got to do. Right now, I need to just take the heat gun and just heat gun some leather. But I think maybe I need to cut the live off because I gotta go. I gotta go. Yeah. So this is my old pull saw that I've had probably I say 7 or 8 years, and maybe even longer than that. It lasted an exceptional amount of time. It was put through a whole bunch. I even cut bone with this. Like I cut a lot of stuff with this saw, tree limbs, anytime I needed a saw. So I got me a new one. I'm psyched about it. It's gonna be. I'm gonna use it to cut my form for the hat. I'm gonna make a wooden form for the hats that I make. I think it'll just make it easier for me to do the stitching and things like that. So I want to test this on the live, and then I can vouch for this particular company because I do believe it is related to this company. This was the one I found, had great reviews. It didn't have the coolest look. It's not always about that. Sometimes about where the product is made. Japan, they're making really good stuff. Obviously, different than China. No offense to China. I got nothing against China. Just the quality of stuff that's coming out of it is not anywhere close to the quality of stuff that's made in Japan. So, two different places, man. We got Logan the Beast. What's up? Roblox. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Let me get the heat gun real quick. Now we'll do a couple minutes of that. I think I might even already be plugged in. Or not. Yep, I am plugged in. What I need to do here is I need to take this leather and that I've got in this bucket and warm it up so that coconut oil will liquefy again. Without melting the bucket. Hey, welcome to Dad's Workshop. Right now I'm heat gunning with this Wagner heat gun. Heather can tag this in the... We got to go pick a refrigerator up, so... So it's the coconut oil that wants to solidify in here right now. Yeah, I like coconut oil a lot. Big fan of coconut oil. Good for the skin. Good with soap making. Great oil for soap making. This is more suede right here. But it is a little tricky because it wants to be solid at room temperature. So I left this out in the garage and this stuff solidified. This is that face, y'all. This is a strop. I have the strops for folks in here too. I wanted to give them one more bath in the fat liquor, before they got sent out. Yeah, we got to pick up a refrigerator. We got refrigerator problems, freezer problems here. I think we should get a chest freezer. How many people vote that we get a chest freezer? Should we get a chest freezer, y'all? If Pilato's in here, don't make any jokes about chest freezers, man. Don't do that. I don't want to hear it. Yep, baby kisses. I expected that. I expected a vote on. I expected a pro chest freezer vote from baby kisses for sure. I know what I could do to get this stuff all liquefied. Put this leather in the oven on like 190, 175. As low as I can get the oven. Even open the door. Stuff to liquefy. That's the problem with the coconut oil and the fat liquor. It's really good, like as a moisturizer. It's a cheap oil that's good quality. But yeah, I think we might get one of those too. Bedtime for me, guys. I'll say good night, says Rob. Good night, Rob. Take care, man. Sweet dreams. Like that. Nah, thank you for being here, Rob. Get from down there. Got dogs below my feet. It is actually melting the coconut oil now. Hey, do we got 5,050 subs, y'all? Because we should. And if we don't, please sub to this channel real quick. Go up there, just double tap the screen, like this video, and sub to the channel so that we can get up to 5,050 subs. We need to get up there now. Just get that. That's my call to action. 5,050 subs. And also sub to Mike Osborne. Mike Osborne needs subs too. It was warm down here, just rainy. Now it's getting cooler. Oh, I think I got it, y'all. Oh wow, look at that. 5,069. That's good. Oh wow, yeah, up in Wisconsin. Hey, somebody click and make me a happy man. Give me 5,070 subs so I can go to bed, and then make it 5,072. Somebody subscribe now so that we can get, so when I check again, it'll still be 5,070. You know, we're in that 5,070 neighborhood. I want to wake up and see that on the screen. Like Rob said, one sign of depression is that you wake up and roll over and look at a screen. So I have that sign of depression. I wake up and roll over and look at my screen, and I'm exceptionally depressed when my subs go below a round number like 5,070. I want to see that 5,070. Give me that sub. Sub now. This is Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. I am so excited to meet you whenever you become comfortable enough to say something in the chat. So please say something in the chat or just subscribe and come back and hang out with us. Right now, I'm just moisturizing leather. Mike, you've subbed. Thanks. That's enough. Just sub once. That's all I need from you. Just sub once. This is leather with the grain on. You can see. Got that pebble finish. This is really, really rough if it doesn't get really well moisturized. So I would like to use some of this scrap for cobbling. We're going to do some cobbling on here. And so if you like that kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel, folks. And also double tap that screen and like. Mike got to roll out. See you later, Mike. Take care, my friend. Congratulations on your live stream. Mike is making stuff, by the way. Subscribe to his channel. Hey, like, share, comment, subscribe. That's right, Cheech. You got it, man. Let's get that. Let's get that. That 5,072. 5,072, and I'm outie. I'm out of here. I won't bother you anymore. No more bothering after 5,072. This is just scrap leather that I have that needs to be conditioned and moisturized, or it's going to turn into a bundle of stiff rags, is what you end up with. So you have to condition it. This is buckskin here, so it's real thin. This one really jumbled up, but looks like it got better in the fat liquor, which is good. Folks, thank you so much for being here. Trying to get to that 5,072 subs so that when I wake up in the morning to around that 5,070, trying to just make my day, make my Sunday morning tomorrow. Help me out, you know. Appreciate you. Let's sub to the channel, and then you and I and this chat and all of us, we can hang out and learn more about each other, and not in a weird way. Oh, look at that, y'all. It's kind of interesting. Before we get, I don't want to. I got this little 2x4 on the bench. Sorry, didn't mean to kick the camera. What I do, as you can see, as the you can't even see from there, can you? There you go. You can see I'm gonna break this. This is face leather, actually, from the face of the deer. Breaking that fiber in there, right? You see it changes that color. I see. Also helps bring that oils into the fiber. A mouse skin jacket. I thought you were talking about a moose skin jacket. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. A moose skin. A mouse skin jacket will take you Take you some time. But think about it like an ermine, right? That the royal fur was made out of ermine. Ermine's not much bigger than a rat, you know? So ermine fur that are attached, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a weasel, right? Beautiful weasel. It's white, has a black tip on its tail. A royal coat with all those little black tips that you see, that's ermine fur. This is deer leather right here. Sebastian, welcome. This is actually from a deer's face. Right here. It's face and neck leather, basically. Yep. With the grain on. This was the face that I removed from a buck. I wanted to see could I do it, and I did it. I wasn't able to keep the fur on because I got busy with other stuff. I got my glasses, but the leather is really good from the face. Apparently, very thick, like nice thick leather, like neck leather almost. You can see. Yeah. Do subscribe, folks. Subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 5,072 subscribers today. We've been on for a minute here. So I got this 2x4 and I break the leather against that here. I've been breaking the smaller pieces against that on here. It's been working. So yeah, it's like neck thickness. It's the same thickness as that buckskin, but it came from an animal much smaller. So like that dark buckskin. Oh, I just broke my reading glasses. I heard myself crunch on them. That dark buckskin that you saw, it's about the thickness of that, uh, because it's the neck and face. That area is very, the skin is thick on it. I think it would make great for like, it would be like anything that's going to take high stress, uh, but small area, like a pocket, uh, a smaller belt. I could see it being like a dog collar. That's going to take some wear. Yeah, this is the face here. Y'all can see how beautiful the oak tans this stuff, man. It really, the oak really lends like, what do you call it? Imparts a beautiful color on these things, man. Like you would see, this is like the thickness of uh, like a slick leather jacket. Uh, you would see a duster or something like that. And as you know, the whole deer hide is not that thick. 5,072. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, folks. We're doing big things here at Dad's Workshop. Let me run this stuff over these things here. This is another piece of scrap from that same hide, I think. Nope, not that same hide. This is one of my first hides. This was a doe. Yeah. This was one that the dog got a hold of. Uh-oh. There you go. There's that heat gun if you need a heat gun. And sometimes I went to Lowe's and they didn't have it. So you may want to order that if you're needing a heat gun. Just saying, works really well. Works great. But I did go to Lowe's and they did not have it. And it was more expensive than that. So not a bad price on it either. Harbor Freight is also an option. If you see us put affiliate links up, it's like us testing it, guys. We're not really trying to sell you stuff that hard. We every product we put up there we'll vouch for though. It's all stuff we use. But we're not trying to sell you stuff hard. We're just learning how to do it. It's a way we have to do things to make money. But you guys know in my heart, I'm not big on commercialism, you know. I'm all about get the things you need to make the things you need to get the next thing you need, you know. I'm all about make it from scratch. You guys know this. But there are products I need to get. I had to make that Amazon order. I haven't ordered anything from Amazon in a minute. It was fun on there. You know, I don't go on there a lot. So it was nice to like shop for stuff. I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, I can't vouch for the Harbor Freight one though. I can only vouch for this one that I'm put up on here because I've used it and it's held together for me. Um, sorry, I got all off live there. Um, I think that that's a little just it's just a little tough for gloves. Bill says I saw the deer leather from the face of the deer. I wonder if that would make nice gloves. The buckskin that I have would make way better gloves than that. This stuff would be too firm. This is like belt leather, Bill. I've got something in here to give you. This is from this the face of this deer is going to be roughly the stiffness of a boot. Um, like you see this belt on my apron right here. This is the same kind of texture as that. It's going to dry to that stiffness. It's like a belt, man. You know, like what you would think belt leather would feel like. So if you have a glove, you're going to want your glove to be way more supple than that. It won't respond to your movements. I hope that answers your question, Bill. You left me like an awesome comment to make there because I got to talk about the difference between what would make a something supple and what would make something more firm. And you can work them, but there are limitations. There are limitations. I can tell you from the little experience I have, this will be really tough leather unless it's worked constantly. Yeah. So we got those. I'll roll that up. And the more you work it, the better. And that apron, this raccoon leather was tough, and all of this was from this deer hide was real tough leather, and I managed to break that down over time. So it there are limitations, but you can do things. Yeah, probably. If you work that face, you can make them, Bill. You can make them, and they would be good. But you would have to work that grain really hard to get them to respond to even yeah, because like this apron, anything leather is good against spark and heat and stuff like that, and friction. You know, chaps. Yeah, chaps. That's a good another thing. Chaps, boots, straps, leather. Um, things that structural leather. They do a lot that type of grain on. If it's bark tanned a long ways and keeps the grain on, it is definitely a stiffer, more rigid leather. If you bark tan it a little other ways and scrape the grain off, you can get it soft again. But the grain on there and a bark tan in a veg tanned leather, it's going to be stiff, like a home veg tan. I can't vouch for what they sell at like Tandy or whether they sell at Weaver. Is that's like commercially made leather. Um, so, and I will wipe my oily hands on this apron. And on this apron, you have that leather on the top, right? Grain on leather. Then this is raccoon leather, and then you have, and that has the grain on it too, but it's softer because it's thinner. And then this is buckskin down here that I did not scrape real hard. So three different types of leather. Now the strap that connects it is the same type as that face. It's like the same thickness when it was moist as that face was, and that's what I think it would probably come out like. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here at Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. Please do subscribe before you leave and double tap that screen and like this video. We appreciate that, but we rely on that also to keep the channel going. Thanks so much for being here. I am so appreciative of you. I got to go get some stuff for the house, and I hope to see you very soon. Please do check out my other videos, my long form video about tanning that I made. I'm going to be making another video very shortly. Consider joining the channel. Love y'all. Do the next right thing. See you later.